Super Bowlers are considered the best ground attack strategy, especially with how much damage they do under rage. So let's break down every part of this army, from the equipment to the steps, to 3-star any base regardless of your town hall level. Starting with the equipment each hero needs, let's first focus on the Dragon Duke, as he wants either Fireheart and Electrofangs if he's used in a Duke charge, or the Fireheart and Stun Blaster if a Royal Champion charge is used. Depending on the hero charge you're using, this often will allow him to act either as a funneling unit within a Duke charge, thanks to the Electrofang's chip damage, or used as a support with the Archer Queen in funneling, as the Stun Blaster minimizes damage for a few seconds, giving enough time to clear out defenses and create consistent funneling before going down. In either option, the Fireheart makes it consistent thanks to its HP increase, healing, and death damage, making it pair well with the revive spell. As for the Archer Queen, you'll often want either the Giant Arrow with the action figure or the Magic Mirror with the action figure. Both provide value for funneling, with the Giant Arrow being more optimal against invis towers, while the Magic Mirror provides faster and consistent funneling, but both work very well regardless. With the Royal Champion, her equipment depends if you're using a Royal Champion charge or a Dragon Duke charge. If you're using a Royal Champion charge, you'll often use the Electro Boots and the Haste File, as you can take advantage of the Spirit Fox invisibility along with the invisibility spells, and move quickly between defenses to set up funneling. However, you can also use the Seeking Shield and Rocket Spear if you're using a Dragon Duke charge, which is usually around Town Hall 17 above, where the Royal Champion can be used to funnel alongside the Queen to set up greater pathing for the Super Bowlers. Finally is the Grand Warden, where using his Eternal Tome and Heroic Torch is a must if you're using Super Bowlers. It provides both survivability with the Eternal Tome's invulnerability and support from the Heroic Torch with its damage reduction, movement speed increase, and ability to enable troops to walk through walls. This overall makes Super Bowlers scary, especially with how strong their attacks are under rage spells. But consider subscribing to the channel, as only 11% of people are subscribed, and any help supports the channel. Now, the first phase of this army focuses on the hero charge, whether it's the Royal Champion charge or the Dragon Duke charge. If you're using a Royal Champion charge, you're often alternating the invisibility effect with the Spirit Fox and invisibility spells, allowing for your Royal Champion to stay alive longer while funneling the innermost part of the base. This additionally lets you use the Haste File to speed up the Royal Champion charge, but you may have to double cycle your invisibility spells to keep up with her as she moves between defenses. However, if you're a Town Hall 17 or above, you'll have access to the Dragon Duke charge. This mainly works with the Electrofangs, as it offers chip damage to nearby buildings every time he attacks. This helps as you're often using invisibility spells to keep him from being targeted by defenses. There isn't exactly any timing needed for this charge, but using them back to back tends to be ideal in certain situations, while other times you can let him tank a bit of damage before using invisibility spells. Once all invisibility spells have expired though, you can heal him right back up with his own HP regen before he goes down, allowing you to take advantage of his death damage from the Fireheart. This overall allows you to also revive him later in the attack to provide consistent value. Over on the other side, you'll be using the Archer Queen alongside either the Dragon Duke or Royal Champion, depending on the hero charge used. If you used a Royal Champion charge, having the Archer Queen and Dragon Duke allows you to create solid pathing, as the Archer Queen is used to clear outside buildings, while the Dragon Duke has his focus on defenses, allowing him to create good funneling inside the base, where his Stun Blaster can stall enough defenses for him to clear. However, if you're using the Dragon Duke charge, it's likely better to use the Archer Queen and Royal Champion together. With the Archer Queen clearing out buildings on the outside of the base, you have the Royal Champion to deal with defenses from a safe distance, allowing her to clear enough buildings with the Rocket Spear, while also having the Phoenix to provide additional value after she falls. But you should also consider using code CORRUPT to support me and the channel. Now that you set up the funnel on either side with the Duke, Royal Champion, and Archer Queen, it's simply time to use your Super Bowler Smash. With the Super Bowlers, having survivability is a must, so the Ice Golems alongside the Apprentice Warden help maintain a lot of their HP since they are fairly squishy, and you do want to work into the base with a Super Wall Breaker to open the walls. This allows you to get your Super Bowlers in while dealing with certain defenses early on. Once you're close to the core of the base, this is when you want to activate your Warden's Eternal Tome and Heroic Torch. This way you can bypass walls and enable your Super Bowlers to work right the way into the base while staying protected for a short period of time. This also allows you to deal with plenty of defenses as the Super Bowlers crush through the base, and with the help of the Sky Wagon, it will provide support troops to help protect your healers while also adding vital troops such as the Super Yeti to provide consistent pressure. As for these spells, rage spells are a must, especially with how strong they are with the Super Bowlers. So using one as you enter the core of the base, along with one during the Heroic Torch ability, will allow them to do massive damage and can be very difficult to stop. Additionally, use your tome spells to redirect damage away from your Super Bowlers, such as against Ricochet Cannons, to mitigate the damage on your Super Bowlers and Grand Warden. An Overgrowth spell can be used in most situations to control the pathing of your Super Bowlers as they move through the base, and can be dealt with later. However, be sure to not use this in certain areas that could cause a split of your Super Bowlers, making it harder to recover the army entirely. Revive, on the other hand, is used specifically for the Dragon Duke to get him back and provide support for the army, no matter if he has the Electrofangs or not. Now that you understand the basics of this army, here's the army comp I recommend you use between Town Hall 16 and Town Hall 18, as this gives you a lot of flexibility from the equipment and roles to choose from while still being extremely powerful. However, let's give you a proper example to help you 3-star with Super Bowlers easily. First things first, we're going to be starting with a hero charge, which in this case is the Dragon Duke charge. We're able to use our invisibility spells back to back since we are using the Angry Jelly. The Spear Fox is a bit too complex for me, so the Angry Jelly feels a bit more natural. Otherwise, if you do misplace your invisibility spells, don't worry, it happens to me as well. You can tank a little bit of the damage before you turn it invisible again. You can also heal it with its HP regen from its ability, but then that just kind of allows you to just get plenty of value, and with the Fireheart Explosion, you can actually get some pretty solid defenses and buildings down. Over on the other side though, we're going to be using the Archer Queen with her action figure and giant arrow in this case, and with the Royal Champion, we've got her Rocket Spear and Seeking Shield. This is going to create a great funnel for us, as we created one side of our funnel with the Electrofangs and the Dragon Duke, and on the other side, we're using the Royal Champion and the Archer Queen. This allows us to get our Super Bowlers right the way into the base with the use of a Super Wall Breaker to open the base up, healers to provide enough healing, and obviously the Apprentice Warden and Grand Warden with the Sky Wagon. Even after the nerf, the Sky Wagon is going to be great, and it's going to be really strong, and with a Rage and the Heroic Torch, we're able to move easily through the core. You can use an Overgrowth over on the back end in order to minimize a lot of the damage and control the funneling, while reviving the Dragon Duke and allowing him to create even more funneling while the Super Bowlers are working through. Another Rage spell can power up those Super Bowlers even more, making them do so much damage as they work around the base. It just makes them incredibly strong. And having the Super Yeti is also incredibly nice, as it provides some nice value with its tanking and the Electromites. Otherwise, this should allow you to very comfortably move around the base, and so long as you're using your spells correctly, you're reviving the Dragon Duke without too much damage being on him, you should more often than not be able to 3-star with Super Bowlers quite comfortably. So it's safe to say Super Bowlers are one of the best ground options in the game, and makes it a strong troop for those who prefer ground strategies. You can even follow this with other troops like Super Yetis, Electro Titans, or even Super Witches, so long as you can get good pathing in. If you do need a refresher of the Royal Champion charge in 2026, make sure to check out this video right here, but YouTube says you may prefer this one instead.